Okay. Oh, hey, everybody. Welcome to our happy half hour. Thank you for bearing with us. We had some technical difficulties this afternoon. So I hope that y'all did stick around and are here to hang out with us this afternoon. For those of you who this is your first time here, I am Sam Shukavage. My dad is off. David Shukavage, my dad, is off teaching a class this afternoon, so he is not going to be joining us. I'm going to be running the show all by myself. And we do have a very special guest today. Many of you who are watching may have worked with him before. This is Jonathan Taylor. And Jonathan, what are you, just as a little preface, what are you going to be speaking with us about today?
Hey, everybody. So sure. I just wanted to say hey, and I hope everyone's doing good. And we thought it would be fun if we touched on doing a top 5 list. Everybody loves a top 5. So we want to talk about Medicare and top 5 Medicare questions that we get all the time, kind of just across the board from everybody. What is the top 5 questions that we get? We thought that we would kind of run through those and just kind of answer them if we could, to see if we could be a resource and just help people with the same thing we see over and over again. So yeah, top 5 Medicare questions.
Awesome. And we will get to that in just a minute, and actually a pretty short minute because we did start a little bit late today. But before that, I do want to introduce Ms. Amy Dresky, who is our Director of Client Fun here at Carolina Retirement Planners. And she is with us almost every week. We have taught her position to somebody else. So occasionally she does get the week off, but
twice. There's another one coming up. I'm so excited,
But most of the time you'll see her smiling face here during our presentations.
Okay, I'm gonna go back over here.
And I just for the sake of time now, because I do know we're a little bit late. Today is Groundhog Day, as those of you who got our email know.
Oh yeah.
The overwhelming majority of you are team spring, not team winter, which is to be expected. Unfortunately, I do believe that Amy and I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Punxsutawney. I think it's Punxsutawney.
Punxsutawney. Jonathan, do you know how to say it? Punxsutawney Phil.
I call him Punxsutawney, but it's wrong. But it's Punxsutawney, I believe.
I know, now that you said Punxsutawney is all I can hear.
I know, right?
Unfortunately, the groundhog has seen its shadow, ran back in its hole, and we have another 6 weeks of winter, which if you are here on the actually, if you're pretty much anywhere in the continental US, you are feeling very cold, except maybe Florida. So if Barb and Dan are here, they might be chilling in Florida. In like the one warm place in the country right now. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining us again a little bit late, but I say, let's go ahead and get into it. What do you say, Jonathan?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, excellent. So I've got these questions queued up for you. Are you ready to rock?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Excellent. Okay. So question 1, our top 5. And for those of you who might just be logging on, we are going to be going over the 5 most common Medicare questions. And Jonathan here, he is a Medicare expert. And so he's here to answer all of our Medicare questions. And we're going over the top 5 most common Medicare questions. So number 1, when do I have to enroll in original Medicare / Part A and Part B? So, I'm about to turn 65. When should I be enrolling?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So, that question, and the reason why I can see that's such a hard question to answer is because it really depends. So, you don't have to enroll in original Medicare Part B if you have coverage through your employer, but general rule of thumb is you have to enroll in Medicare Part A and Part B. The majority of people do once they turn 65. That's when you would enroll into Medicare. But that answer can be a little vague. I know it's hard to explain sometimes, but sometimes people who become disabled can qualify for it earlier. Who decide, hey, I want to work a little bit longer. I want to stay working with my employer. I'm not ready to retire yet. I want to keep working. And therefore, hey, they offer me health insurance. So I'm going to delay my Medicare. Then they can choose to do so. So when do I have to enroll in Medicare? Well, you only have to enroll in Medicare is if you're retiring from your employer and you're getting and you're turning 65. That would be when you have to. Now, I will say this. Part B, if you don't sign up for it, you can delay Part B, but you need to let them know when you're ready to sign up for Part B, because if you don't sign up for Part B and you don't have coverage, they actually hit you with a penalty. The government does. You have to pay a penalty and they add it to your Part B premium. So you would want to make sure that you do not go without Part B coverage when it's time to enroll. But long story short, everybody's enrollment period is a little different and their situation is. So most people sign up for it when they're 65, but there can be exceptions, long story short.
And how long, like, do you sign up for it on your 65th birthday, or do you sign up for it in the months preceding? Like, how far before I turn 65 do I want to start thinking about Medicare seriously?
That's a great question. Really is a good question. So they tell you you can go ahead and start to sign up for Medicare 3 months before your birthday, before you turn 65. They give you the month of your 65th birthday, and then you have 3 months after your 65th birthday. So you have that whole window to actually enroll into Part A and B. Now, A is given to you when you turn 65 automatically. It's a $0 cost. I kind of maybe gave that away on one of these other questions, but your Part B that's the part that can you have some flexibility when you start that. And that depends on people's situations.
Okay. Well, I guess that leads us into number 2. And how much does Medicare cost? Is it the same for everybody? Is it the same? They might be getting a lot of stuff in the mail and they're unsure, do all of these things cost the same? What does this cost? What does it mean?
So we're talking about original Medicare. Original Medicare has 2 parts, and those 2 parts are Part A, hospital insurance, and then Part B is the medical insurance. Part A is free to everyone if they've worked at least 10 years. If you generally worked at least 10 years and you're eligible for Part A, sometimes it's even called the premium free Medicare. That Part A costs $0 for most people. Original Medicare, the Part B is the one that everyone sees. Hey, what's this bill I get from Uncle Sam? Or they have it payroll deducted. If they start Social Security, you can have it drafted out of your Social Security. If you start Social Security at age 65 or earlier, they give you that option. But your Part B premium, now that one's a little trickier because for a lot of people, it's for 2023, that number is $164.90.
And
however,
correct me if I'm wrong, it actually went down for the first time like ever, right?
Well, it does seem pretty, yes. Yeah, it actually went down. And they also changed some of the thresholds too for what tax brackets. So for the general population, if you make $97,000 as an individual or $194,000 or less as a joint couple, that couple, whoever enrolls in Part B, they would pay $164.90. That would be the cost. Now, this is where we go into the IRMA, income related adjustment amount, and that can change. So the more money you make can throw you into a different bracket, and your Part B can go up from there. So it goes up from so if you make a couple making over $194,000, it would then go up to $194,001. that would throw you in a different bracket, and your Part B premium, that would be $230.80. And then it goes, the next bracket is $390 or $329. Then the next bracket's $428. The next bracket is $527, and $560 is the max for your Part B premium. So if you're within the predetermined brackets, generally speaking, most people pay $164.90. Others can be adjusted to a higher premium. So again, another question that we get a lot, and the reason why it's not so simple is it depends.
Yep, absolutely.
A little bit. Yeah.
We have the IRMA conversation a lot with clients who are working on their Roth conversions.
Yes. When you're doing retirement, it's such a big issue and important topic because paying for health coverage is one of the leading expenses, and avoiding these penalties. So you don't want to pay your Part B. You want to have Part B coverage and not have to pay that penalty. And you also want to have Part D coverage so you won't have to pay that penalty also. So avoiding the penalties and getting the best plan at the lowest cost, all makes sense as part of retirement. Sure.
Absolutely. Okay. Question number 3. Do I need to sign up for Medicare if I'm still working? What if I'm 65? I'm not ready to retire. I'm enjoying my job. I'm kicking here. What do I have to do? Can I keep my insurance? What is that?
Yeah, that's great. So if it's what they call credible coverage, that means it's a fully insured health plan. It has to be credible coverage is how Medicare determines it. But yeah, if you want to continue working past 65, you can delay your Part B Medicare. Now your Part A you get when you're 65, but your Part B is what you can delay because, hey, I'm taking my employer's insurance. I don't need to sign up for this government insurance. I already have it through my employer. I'm going to delay the government insurance. So you don't need to sign up for it. If you have credible coverage, you're good to go. Now the conversation from there may be, well, is it worth changing and getting off my employer? So that's where does it make more sense to stay on or possibly get off and get the Medicare? That's a conversation to have too. But no, you don't have to if you're offered coverage through your employer. Yep.
So you don't have to, but if you're looking at that, it might be worth sitting down and evaluating that with somebody.
Right. It can all be quantifiable. Everything can be measured and quantifiable. So it's just because your neighbor down the road didn't do it and you did it.
It could be the right thing for them and the right thing for you with two different.
That's exactly. It's like with financial advising, you meet with a client, their financial situation is different than the next. Everything has to be catered so that we're giving each person their own personalized catered portfolio. Sure.
Now, before we move on to the next question, here's another one for you. So say I'm over 65, I decided to stay on my employer's insurance and, but then I retire and it's not during open enrollment. What happens then? Is there a way that I can get on to Part B?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the short answer is yes. The day that coverage ends through your employer would be the next month starting would be your when your Medicare Part B could kick in and start. We just have to notify them, let them know that you have a qualifying event so that you'll have no lapse in coverage, no penalties, and it works in perfect symphony.
Excellent. Okay. So next question 4. When can I sign up for a Medicare supplement, Part D, or Medicare Advantage plan?
That's another quick, you would think that's, and this, I see why it's so common. And they seem so simple, but yet there's layers to them. So obviously open enrollment for everyone who's already on Medicare is runs from November and then into December. Okay. Mm-hmm. However, that's if you have Medicare. If you are new to Medicare, then you would be able to sign up for Medicare, either back to what we alluded to, you're coming off of group coverage, or you are turning 65 and you're brand new to Medicare and you're turning 65 at any one of the 12 months of the year. That would be when you would come on to Medicare. So again, it depends. There's a kind of a theme here, but yeah, it depends. If you already have it, You can change it, sign up for it during open enrollment. If you don't have it yet, then that depends on when you first become eligible for it. And that could be different for everybody.
Okay.
So.
Now, question 5.
Okay.
We'll number them. But I might have a few quick follow-ups if we can fit them in. What do the Medicare plans cover? We've got a lot of letters, a lot of jargon. What do they cover?
Yeah. So you have, again, we have parts to Medicare. So original Medicare that's offered through the government comes Part A and Part B. So Medicare from the government, just original Medicare, as they call it, includes hospital insurance, and it covers inpatient. It covers inpatient stays, skilled nursing facilities, home health care, home hospice. The Part B is your medical insurance. That covers things like some deductibles, general costs for co-insurance services, clinical labs, home health care, inpatient hospital care, outpatient mental health care, partial hospital mental health care, and outpatient hospital care. Now, that's a mouthful, but the thing to understand is original Medicare lacks a lot of coverage and doesn't do a lot of things until you pay these deductibles. And those deductibles can reset throughout the year. It's not a one-time deductible like people are used to. These deductibles can reset. So it does cover, but it lacks the coverage. There's a lot of things. So it covers ish. It has no drug coverage included in it. So there are things that original Medicare do cover, but people like to get something that supplements what original Medicare does not fully cover. So they get these supplemental plans, and supplemental plans can pick up that last 20% that the government does not cover right away, and also covers prescription drug coverage. So original Medicare covers a lot, but it's lacking. I would definitely recommend getting something outside of that. There are even plans that can be $0 premiums that may make sense, and some of those may be the Advantage plans. So what does it cover? It covers a lot, and it can cover all of it if you add the plan that can complement the original Medicare. It can pick up everything. So if designed correctly, it can pick it all up.
Okay. Well, I've got just, I know we start a little bit late, so I'm going to go like 1 or 2 minutes over, and it'll be fine. So
I think it's really good. Yep. Do it.
What is C? Because I know I have a better idea of like what A and B are. Can you kind of help me understand what C is? And I know that there's a D. Can you just really high level, just give me a...
Sure, absolutely. So original Medicare, again, consists of Part A, which is hospital, and Part B, which is medical.
Mm-hmm.
The Part D stands for drug. Since their original Medicare does not include any drug coverage, people like to get a Part D to cover that prescription drug coverage, because again, original Medicare comes with these holes in it that it comes lacking. So getting that Part D, which stands for drug coverage, is definitely something that I would more than recommend, because if you don't get it, they penalize you for not having a Part D drug plan. Mm-hmm. The Part D is drug coverage. Part C, that's a great question. Part C is A and B given to a private insurance company to administer, and they also include Part D, all combined together to form Plan C. So,
okay.
Nation of A, B, and D, otherwise known as Plan C or Medicare Advantage plans. And the things to be concerned about those, or the things that you want to know, is those plans come with networks. So doctors and physicians and certain facilities, they come with networks. So if you see a doctor and you want to go see certain physicians, or you want to see certain practices, just understand that those plans come with networks that you just need to make sure your doctor's in network with. But Plan C is where the private insurance company takes over the whole gambit and they bundle everything into one thing and they call it Plan C.
Mhm. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. I have one more question for you. And it's, we have a lot of clients that, that have, that are retired military. And I'm interested in how does the VA work with Medicare? If, you know, how do those two work together?
Yeah. So just again, we'll just kind of do a high level here. It can get very deep, very fast when we start talking about VA and TRICARE, but essentially the veterans who are eligible can use VA specified hospitals if they are eligible to use those. Certain veterans from the military can use what they call the VA. TRICARE is if you're retired military and you are eligible, you've worked through the military, you've finished your service and you've retired. Even some before they've reached retirement, they have their own insurance called TRICARE. TRICARE is a military insurance where they allow you to use certain providers and they pay a large percentage of those services at approved provider, locations. So, and there's, not to go down a rabbit hole, but there's it's military insurance that's provided to people who retire from the military and their families. But the thing to know about that is those can come with limitations, and the limitations can be, the big hang up is if you don't use those designated facilities or locations. And I know, as we've all heard in the news with the VA, there can be really long wait times to see and get an appointment at the VA. And that can be very frustrating. So we, people who are in the military or people who have, are eligible for VA may want to sit down and have a conversation about what other options are available to them. And there's some really good options available so that you still have the option to go to the VA, but maybe you want to broaden that network of doctors and you want to be able to see other doctors and not have to wait 9 or 6 months to get in to see a doctor. So just understand that those are for people who are eligible through being through the military, but that's not their only option. They have a lot of other options, and there's some really good options that can complement both TRICARE and VA that we can go into detail with if people have further questions. So yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan, I think we've done a really great job of keeping it here pretty much within the hour. And I am so appreciative of your time today. This has been so informative for me, and I'm sure for everybody who's tuned in today. What do you think, Amy?
Yeah, and you guys killed it. I mean, it's really right now 5 o'clock, so I love it. Look at you guys go. Woohoo.
So, if anybody who's watching, if you are about to retire, if you have questions about your Medicare, if you might be retiring before you're 65 and you're looking for some health insurance to get you through that gap, Jonathan is an excellent resource for you. You can feel free to give our office a call, 910-815-3100, and we can get you in touch with Jonathan. And many of our clients have worked with him and are always singing his praises. And I'm sure that he'd be happy to answer any questions that you have and help guide your Medicare and healthcare journey.
Yeah, we're put it in the comments too. So.
Yeah, we all this comes together as part of retirement, so it really does complement your whole retirement planning. So we're happy to be a resource and answer any questions that anyone may have, for sure. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you. And we have one more, our last part of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Is we are going to do our wine drawing. So each week we give away 2 bottles of wine delivered directly to your door from Fermental Bottle Shop. They're newly located in the Cargo District in downtown Wilmington. They're a great spot. You should go check them out. They have a great bar with things that are on draft. They have wine and beer to take home. They're just a really great place to go. So in each week, we raffle off 2 bottles of wine. And to enter this raffle, you just have to we'll have a little thing on Facebook saying, this is what we're doing each week, like a little event. You click on going, we'll get you in there. And if you share that event with a friend, we'll get you in there again. And if you're on our email listserv, we'll let you know each week what our topic is going to be. And you email back and let us know whether you're team early spring or team longer winter, or just say, get me into the wine drawing and we'll get you in here again as well. So our winner this week of 2 bottles of wine shipped directly to their door
Drum roll.
is... it's Ms. Gail L.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
congratulations, Gail. You are our wine winner today. For everybody else who did not win, continue to enter. We love to give away wine. And yeah, so again, thank you so much, Jonathan, for your time today. We are so thankful that you came on here and shared all of your Medicare knowledge with us. And we'll have to have you back closer to open enrollment.
Yeah, it's always on my calendar. So
Yeah.
thank you. We appreciate it. You're awesome. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Keep warm this weekend. It's supposed to be cold. Brr.
Now, I hope everyone stays warm and dry. It's gonna be like either cold or rainy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
cheers,
man.
everybody. I hope the 6
Yeah.
more weeks of winter is not too harsh for you.
I know. I hope not. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.